My name is Michael, and I've been watching one woman for quite some time now. She is 44 years old and works in our accounting department. I was aware that she had been divorced for several years and that her son was currently attending Florida International University. We often ran into each other in the office and maintained a warm relationship, but never ventured into anything personal. Although we had occasional disagreements at work, they were just professional disputes, and I wanted something more serious from the beginning. It was obvious that Aunt Isabella had had an attractive figure in her youth, and now, with her slight softness, she seemed even more attractive. Several times, as she leaned against my desk, I winced with admiration as I gazed at her deep cleavage, which seemed to lift a veil over her very essence. A single woman in her 40s, dressed in a business suit with a knee-length skirt and black tights, in my eyes, epitomized the beauty of a young and ambitious person. Our interaction took place during the winter season, when the company was celebrating at the bar the successful launch of my new program. The atmosphere became lively as the team enjoyed drinks, and my attention became increasingly focused on Aunt Isabell. It was obvious that she had consumed a fair amount of alcohol. Her eyes were glistening, and her voice was getting louder. She began to smoke, and somewhat sloppily at that. As the evening progressed in the dim atmosphere of the modest bar, the audience began to dance, which prompted me to invite her to join me on the dance floor. We didn't speak during the dance, but she suddenly pressed herself hard against me. By the end of the dance, we were barely moving, just swaying, pressed against each other. When we returned to the table, she quietly said, "It's so good with you, Michael." After that, the company continued drinking for another 40 minutes until we decided to go home. I quickly got dressed, went outside, and sat in the back seat of our car. Then the others came out, and it turned out that there were 7 of us in the car because the other one had left. The intoxicated women naturally began to make themselves comfortable on each other's laps. Isabel chose to sit on my lap. As soon as the music started playing, we set off. One of my hands rested on her hip, and the other straddled her back. She leaned her head against my shoulder, telling me how cozy and warm she was, and then apologized for our previous disagreements at work. At this point, I mustered up the courage to confess that I had long had feelings for her and was in love with her. Isabella quickly made the right decision, suggesting we take a walk near her house. So we did. And then we walked quickly up to her apartment, and as soon as the door closed behind us, we began kissing at the entrance, moving slowly into the living room, where a floor lamp cast a warm glow and soft music filled the air. I wrapped my arms around her from behind, and we began to dance. In that sultry moment, we collapsed on the bed, and our dance continued for a long time. That's how our first time was, unforgettable and incredible. After that, it became more regular. I can say that a woman over 40 is an atomic force that still blows my mind.